mixed meat stew. It's mainly a stew made in West Africa. In the Spanish culture, they make the stew as well, a very close version of the stew. So today, we'll be making the stew together. Of course, I would have prepped a lot of things to cut down the time, but you will still get it. So let's get cooking. I have here goat meat. This is turkey legs. You guys know, uncooked turkey legs. This is, I'm trying to remember the name, something like rib plate, beef plate rib bone, something like that. This is not goat, this is cow. I got it from Costco, also Costco. And this is diced onions. And the last but not the least, do not freak out, this is called the skin. Some cultures do eat the skin. See how it looks. It's very delicious. We eat goat, lamb, cow, all of the above. This is made by burning the skin to get all the airs out and then skinning it off the muscles, and you get this. This has been portioned. It's already cleaned out and washed out. I'm going to combine them into the pot. This and the turkey. Now all the meat have been put in the pot. The next is to season it and boil it a little bit. Boiling will allow all the spices to simmer into the meat and get so juicy before you put it in the oven. To season, chicken bouillon to put in it, because I've used this for a long time. And for the meat, you want it to be over spiced, because you're still going to put them in the peppers. This chicken bouillon is similar to the liquid one that they sell now at the store. Salt. Just spice it to your liking, whatever kind of spice you're used to. If you want to stick with that, I think that will be okay. This is onions. This is the red onions. You don't have to use red onions. You can use any type of onions that you like. Onions give it extra depth and extra flavor. We're going to put some water. So I put about 1 liter of water in here. You don't really have to measure it. Whatever you feel comfortable with is the amount of water you can use, because you can use the extra stock for other things. I shifted away from metals for cooking because no matter how expensive the pot is, it always gets damaged. This is all clad, but if you look at the inside, it's all scratched up. Even though you spend so much money on pots, it never holds up. I have different variety of them. This, this. You're gonna give it a good stir. Remember, you're not going to cook this for long. It's gonna be cooked for about 45 minutes on medium heat. Next is to get all the peppers together for the next phase of this cooking. You don't have to follow my quantities. You can use how much or how less you prefer. I'm going to be using 2 bell peppers. This recipe is going to have different assortments of peppers. It gives it depth, flavor. This is one. I'm going to use 2. And this is another type of pepper, not a bell pepper, another type. It gives it flavor. I'm just gonna chop off. Next is this. Here we go. Different types. Yes, habanero is gonna go in here. It's going to be spicy. Usually when I do this, I will have to wash my hand right away. So I'm gonna add, I don't remove the seeds for the habanero. You need all of it to give it extra spice. 7, but I'm thinking I'm gonna use more. 8. Now that we've finished with the peppers, it's time for the tomatoes. All I'm gonna do is just cut it up. Let's get this baby in there too. Again, you can use any type of onions that you want. The next phase will be to blend these peppers. I have blended the peppers. First, I need to let you know what peppers I used. This is bell pepper. This is called serrano pepper. Serrano pepper is long and skinny. This is called Fresno peppers. This is called habanero pepper. This is the spiciest. And the last one I had it, no, not the last one, onions and the tomatoes. So that is all I had it. And I like to use mixed peppers because it will give it flavor, it will give it depth, and some of the peppers have smokiness in them and also fruitiness. It makes the stew very delicious. This is the pepper. In the meat, I'm going to remove the turkey. I don't want to overcook it. That is not 45 minutes. That will be going to the oven. Here's the turkey. I'm going to wait for the meat to be cooked a little bit more, maybe in the next 20 minutes. Then put them right in the oven at about 400 degrees. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. This looks so good. Take a look. This is delicious. Man, so delicious. Let's take a delicious. 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 Now, look at the stock. You cannot beat this homemade stock, not canned stock. We need to put this This is very delicious. Very delicious. Wash your hands. Wipe your hands. And here we go. I get so happy when I achieve something, and I feel this is an achievement. It's so good. I need to taste another one. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna taste. Check this out. Now it's going to go to the oven for maybe 1 hour. You're going to check it and try to use the spoon to turn it so that all the sides will get baked. That's what we're going to do now. Let's go. Oops. That's the stock. The next is to cook the peppers before the meat goes into the pepper. Add spices and do all of that good stuff, and the meat goes in. Let's get started. The next phase is to cook the peppers, but before doing that, let's add oil. You can use any oil that you want. I'm just going to use olive oil. 4 spoons of olive oil, some sliced onions, onions make everything taste good. Once the onions start to look slightly translucent, then I'm gonna add the peppers. Yes, I think it's good. You can use spoon to scoop the peppers in here. I'm going to let the peppers cook for, I'll check back in about 30 minutes. I'm going to leave it on medium heat. We are almost getting to the end of it, so stay tuned. The peppers have been cooking for quite a while. It needs to cook further. So what I'm going to do, because the point is you want to cook it enough that the taste of the peppers gets removed, kind of like reduction type. I don't know if you can call it that. So I'm going to add the stock. The stock is also going to add flavor into it, but it's going to dry out, so it's not going to. After adding the stock, then I'm going to add the spice to the peppers. I didn't want to add it until the stock because you don't want to overdo it. The stock has spice in it already. I'm gonna add the spice and we'll leave it again to cook for a while, and get salt. Gonna put chicken bouillon in there as well. Thyme. I'm gonna have thyme. Maybe about, for this size, about 1 tablespoon. Then I'm gonna add curry. In West Africa, they use a lot of curry, but it's not very, people don't know this. They think it's just the Indians that use it, but Africans use it. Many countries in Africa use it, or almost all the countries in Africa use it. I grew up using curry and thyme. Wow. Smells already, smells so good. Smells so good. Now put it on medium heat. I'll check it back in about 20 minutes because I don't want it to burn. You know, I know it takes at least 2 hours to make, but you're not working continuously for the 2 hours. You're waiting for the meat to bake. You're waiting for the peppers to cook down. But so you're not really working non-stop, but it does take about 2 hours to complete all of it, all of the steps. You can make this, a lot of this, and put it in the freezer, portion it, and you bring it out in portion. Then it lasts for like a month, so you don't have to do this every time. It's so delicious. It goes with so many things. We'll be back to check this in about 20 minutes. This is the meat that we're baking. I'm going to try to turn them over. Going back into the oven, we'll check back on the peppers that is cooking. So, yep, the turkey is done. It's cold. I brought it out to let it cool down, so it's a little hardened. So what I want to do now is cut it. Did you know that turkey is a lean meat? It's even leaner than chicken. Did you know goat is a lean meat? It's leaner than cow that everybody eats in the United States, and it's even leaner than lamb. So that's what we made. So what we made is healthy. You don't have to be completely eating vegetarian to be healthy or counting all these calories. Just eat balanced meal with all the nutritional value in it, and choose leaner options. That's what I do. I eat leaner options. Okay, now next is the meat. The goat is also baked. We're going to put them into the cooking peppers. The peppers have been cooking for a long time. It has cooked down. I've tasted it. It's so delicious. So delicious. Trust me. Ready for the meat. Don't careful not to. And a little stock liquid. Okay. I've used up all the stock. that I made. I'm going to increase the heat to medium high-ish, and let's see how it looks after about 20 minutes. As you can see, we're done with the mixed meat stew. It is still simmering on very low heat. So we've finished making the mixed meat. Time to make Patacones. Patacones is a dish that is made in the Spanish countries. I ate it when I went to Colombia, and I think it is in Mexico and some other Spanish regions as well. So let's make this. It's very delicious. I loved it. When I was in Colombia, that was pretty much the only thing I was eating. You typically would use unripe plantains. It was really hard for me to get an unripe plantain. Nice. Oops. Nearly lost that. So just a little bit of salt. It's ready. We're gonna fry it now. I'm going to fry it in the smaller burner using high heat. For now, I'll put it down to about medium to high. This is canola oil. It's time to add it. Oops! Oh my god, this is so hot. The first set of making the patacones is done. And we need to smash it. Nice, I love it. I can't believe I did this. Smash the next one. Wow, this is good. Good looking. I'm going to do that for the rest. Right. I just lined it with paper towel to just absorb any oil. Right. You need to fry this a second time. Let's go. I think it's time to fry it. Remember we made this mixed meat stew. We just finished making the patacones. And we're gonna dish it out. What it did was it made it crunchy. Listen. Mmm. 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 Delicious. I love it. Delicious. thing about Patacones that I noticed, you have to make what you can finish. I'm not sure the next day is that great. The stew. It is very crunchy because it's double fried. So good. Tasting time. You can use fork, but I'm gonna use my hands. Delicious. I just dip it into the sauce. Good. This is good. You see them? So good. Yeah, let's taste the meat. I like to use my hands. Use your hands, use fork.